Hey guys, this is CheJose, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight into a new Patreon program that I've just started. Part of this will actually be making sure that I can actually give a little bit back to the community and actually give back to the people who are supporting my work. To start off with, I've just created this small template here, which has some of the patches I actually have created for Serum, and which I actually have used in some of my productions. So what I'll be doing is actually just doing a little demo of each one, and you'll be able to download all these patches for joining my Patreon on the first tier. So they should be available shortly, if not already by the time you watch this video. But without further ado, let's just do a little bit of a playback from the actual template, and then we can do a bit of a breakdown. I won't give too much away because I really want the patrons to actually be able to get these files and these presets, as they will be obviously paying for them. So without further ado, let's have a listen to these presets, and then I can break them down for you. So yeah, that's the 4 presets. We have an Afterlife sounding preset from Anima, which is essentially, they're all in Serum, by the way. So if I bring up this preset here, without actually going into too much depth, because this is a Patreon only sort of video, and if you do want the presets, you will have to join the Patreon. But essentially what we have here is just a saw wave and the MB saw wave tables, with some LFO mapping to some white noise, and an envelope in here which actually gives you this kind of plucky sound. I'll break it down here. And then we obviously have some hyper dimension, distortion, delay to actually give the sound a little bit more grit. If we move on to the next one, I created a remake of one of my favorite songs of all time, which is the Eric Prydz Generate single, and it sounds something like this. So this particular preset is actually pretty simple to do. It's essentially just 2 saw waves run in parallel with some cutoff and an MG low filter. We've got some envelope automation here to give it that kind of plucky sound every single time the filter opens, and then really it's just some hyperdimension, distortion, filter, EQ, and reverb. So not a hell of a lot actually in this particular sound. So that's also included in the Patreon program. And if we move on to the next one, we have the Lane 8 preset from Just a Little. Don't know who Lane 8 is. He's one of the better known melodic house producers. He's got a great label, This Never Happened, and signed to Injuna Beats. So this particular preset just looks at a basic shapes analog waveform which has actually been amended slightly to give it this kind of weird curve, which gives it that distinct sort of sound. It's got another saw wave on the second oscillator, and just running a single voice of unison. So really the characteristic is really done in this first oscillator. We got some bright white noise here running through as well, and we're automating the envelopes on the white noise and also on the cutoff. When it comes down to effects, hyperdimension kind of gives it that, I guess, reverby sort of sound, plate reverb sort of sound. Some chorus, some delay, another reverb, and some distortion for taste. And last but not least, we have this is actually a 2-layer bit of a demo, which is from CheJose Carte Blanche. And this is actually, if you don't know, this is actually Ferry Corsten's Alias, one of the biggest trance songs of all time. And together they sound like this. So it's essentially the same patch. One's playing with an arpeggiator down the bottom, and the other one is just really playing the lead. So we actually have a look at this particular patch. We are not really doing too much with this. It's really just the automation within the envelope, which actually gives it that kind of plucky sound, and the hum noise, which is actually set as well. And I believe this is actually routed to the envelope as well. So that basically means that every single time the note hits, it will open up that noise slightly as well, to give it kind of that white noise over the top. A whole bunch of processing there within reverb, compression, and delay. So like I said, all these patches will be included as part of my Patreon. This is just a really quick video to show you what's actually included in the free tier. I'll do some more breakdowns, obviously, of some tracks within the next coming weeks. But if you're interested, link below. Hope to see you there and grow this community. So without further ado, thanks once again, and talk to you soon.